Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with our fifth chapter, that is coal and petroleum. Coal and petroleum. In this chapter, we will study about what are the natural resources. These natural resources are classified into two categories. What are fossil fuels? Then what is coal and how it's formed? What are the uses of that coal? Then we will see about the petroleum, its formations and refining. Then the natural gas. All these things we are going to cover in this chapter, that is coal and petroleum. We use various materials to fulfill our basic requirements. Dear students, some of these are found in nature, while many others are man-made. Understood? So this is what natural and man-made resources. See, we use air for what purpose? To breathe, isn't it? We use air to breathe. We use water to drink. Yes or no? And for various other activities. Both air and water are what? They are natural resources. Things like paper, clothes, furniture, computer, cars, or that we use, all are man-made resources. Yes or no? So students, in our surroundings we find different things. Yes or no? We find different things we obtain from nature. That is what we called as natural resources. Okay, in that you can see such as sunlight, water, air, forest, and these fossil fuels which are obtained from this earth crust. Understood? So the things which is obtained from nature, understood, the things which are obtained from nature, that is called as natural resources. Such as what are the examples of natural resources? Sunlight, water, air, forest, fossil fuels. These fossil fuels which are obtained from earth crust. Fossil fuels are produced by decomposition of dead plant and animal parts. What is this fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are produced by what? They are produced by decomposition of dead plant and animal parts which are buried deep in this earth crust. Buried in the earth crust means what? They are what you say, all the dead animals or dead plants, they are decomposed in the soil. Okay, they are decomposed in the soil. So this process takes thousands of years. This process they takes thousands of years. Such fuels are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Understood? So this fossil fuels means they are produced from where? By the decomposition of dead plant and animal parts, which is buried in deep in earth crust, and that process takes how many years? Thousands of years. Such fuels are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. On the other hand, you can see the things which are made by man with the help of what? With the help of machines and technology are man-made resources. Example, you can see railways, bridges, dams, buildings, then the satellites. These are the examples of man-made resources. Understood? So dear students, based on availability, natural resources are classified into two types. Understood? This natural resources, they are classified into two types, that is inexhaustible and exhaustible. Inexhaustible means what? Here this is inexhaustible. And this is exhaustible. So natural resources, they are classified into two types, that is inexhaustible and second one is exhaustible. In inexhaustible, you can see resources which exist in unlimited quantity in nature and does not exhaust because of human activities. Understood? Resources which exist in unlimited quantity in nature. What are they? They are sunlight, air and water, and they does not exhaust because of human activities. Yes or no? And exhaustible are those, means various um, resources which are limited in nature and are likely to exhaust in near future due to human activities. So on the other hand, there's various resources which is very limited. You know, for example, you can say wildlife, forest, then fossil fuels. In fossil fuels, we have seen coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Then the minerals. These are the exhaustible examples. So this natural resources is classified into two types, exhaustible and inexhaustible. The examples are given below. So students, now we will see what is coal. Coal, you may have seen coal or heard about it. It is as hard as stone and is black in color. Have you seen the coal? It looks like a black in color, yes or no? And it is hard also as a stone. So coal is one of the fuels used to cook food. Earlier, it was used in railway engines to produce steam to run the engine. It is also used in thermal power plants to produce electricity. Coal is also used as a fuel in various industries. So students, so coal is what? Coal is a complex mixture of what? Of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen compounds with some percentage of nitrogen, sulfur and phosphorus. You have studied this compounds name in fourth chapter, metals and non-metals. Yes or no? So the what is coal? Coal is a Complex mixture means it having a many mixture of what? Of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen compounds, and with some percentage of what? Of nitrogen, sulfur and phosphorus. And it is found deep under the surface of earth, from where it is obtained when you dig it by digging, you know, it is obtained under the surface of what? Of the earth. Okay, from where it is going to it is obtained by digging. Understood? So what is coal? Coal is one of the fuels which is used to what? Used for cook foods. Even it in earlier also it was used for to run the engine. In railway engines they produce steam. For what purpose? To produce the to run the engine. And this coal is also used in thermal power plants to produce electricity. And this coal is also used as a fuel in various industries. You know the story of coal? What is the story of coal over here? See, about 300 million years ago, the earth had dense forest, low-lying wetland areas. Due to these natural processes like flooding, this forest got buried under the soil. Flooding, you know? What is flooding? All the waters means pani ka बाढ़ आना, you know. At that time what happened, ये जो forest, whatever the forest में जो भी wildlife, जो भी the all the plants, they got buried, means they got all decomposed over there under the soil. As more soil deposit over them, they were compressed. Compressed means what? That they ढक गया है ना, दब गया उसके ऊपर. Compressed means what? They got compressed over there. So the temperature also rose as they sank deeper and deeper. Under high pressure and high temperature, dead plants got slowly converted to coal. As coal contains mainly, as I told you before, what is the main things in that? Carbon. So mainly carbon. The slow process of conversion of dead vegetations into coal is called as carbonization. The process means the slow process of what? Of conversions of dead vegetations into coal. That process is known as a carbonization. Since it was formed from the remains of vegetation, coal is also called as a fossil fuel. They are also called as a fossil fuel. When they are heated in air, this coal burns and produces mainly carbon dioxide gas. Understood? When this carbon means this coal produce what? Mainly they produce carbon. When they comes in contact with air, what is present in air? In air, many mixtures of gases are there, like oxygen. When this oxygen come in contact with carbon, what they produce? They produce carbon dioxide gas. Carbon plus O2 will give you carbon dioxide, that is CO2. Coal is processed in industry to get some useful products such as coal, coal tar and coal gas. Understood? So they are processed in industry to use many useful products such as coke, coal tar and coal gas. Understood? So what are the useful products obtained from this coal? That is, components of coal is first one is coke. Coke is what? It is a tough, porous and black substance. What is coke? It is a very tough, porous and black substance. It is almost pure form of carbon. And this coke is used in the manufacture of steel and in the extraction of many metals. This coke means what? When coal is heated strongly in the absence of what? In the absence of air. When this coal is heated very strongly in the absence of air, it produces various useful organic that which we are manufactured in the that process is done in the industry, and there we got the coke, coal tar, and coal gas. And this is the first one, that is coke. And this solid residue which is left behind after dry distillation of coal, means after you burn all those wood, you know, जो residue that after the residue after the uh, heating, all the process gets over, the left, whatever the left behind is, that solid residue is what? Your coke. Understood? And it is very tough, and it is porous, and it is black in color. So it contains about how many? 98 percentages of carbon, and that is used to manufacture steel and extract many metals from their ores. Understood? So when steam is passed over red hot coke, understood, they produces what? Water gas. When this carbon, see I show you, when this carbon is passed over red hot coke, or it produces water gas, that is when this steam is what? Water, H2O, right? They produces water gas, CO, that is carbon monoxide, and H2. What is this? This is a water gas. Understood? This is a water gas. And this gas which is used as a fuel gas, and it is a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. What is water gas? The water gas is a mixture of carbon monoxide and water. Understood? After that, what happens? When this coke, means when the air is passed over this red hot coke, produces what? Gas, which is a mixture of what? Carbon monoxide and nitrogen is formed over there. Again, what happens? We are getting mixed with the nitrogen, and then they produces producer gas. In that producer gas, what are they? Carbon monoxide and nitrogen. In water gas, what are they? Carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Understood? So this is what the coke. They are used in the manufacture of steel, in the extraction of many metals. Secondly is coal tar. In that, when heated in air, coal burns and produces mainly carbon dioxide gas. Your coal is processed, so here it is here, coal. This coal is processed in industry to get some useful products such as coke, coal tar, and coal gas. About how many? 200 substances. Products obtained from coal tar, they are used as a starting materials for manufacturing various substances every day in used life. Okay, means various substances are used in everyday life. In industry, it is used for making like synthetic dyes, drugs, explosives, perfumes, plastic, paints, photographic materials, roofing materials, etc. Interestingly, what happened here, the naphthalene boards, which are used to repel moths and other insects, are also obtained from this coal tar. You know what is naphthalene board? It looks like a white in color. At our home also we used to use that thing. In our cupboard we keep that naphthalene balls for the so that no cockroaches can get in the cupboard, or moth or insect or other insects which takes place over there. And this is all are obtained from what? From coal tar. So these days bitumen, a petroleum product, is used in place of coal tar for metaling the roads. So this bitumen, which is used as a petroleum product, they are used in place of coal tar, means for the metaling the roads. What is there in a road? To make a pakka road, they used to put all the metals, and then on that the roofing is done with the help of this coal tar. No, so that is they are used to make for the metaling the roads. The thirdly is coal gas. This coal gas is obtained during the processing of coal to get coke. Coal gas, they are obtained by when the processes of this coal is to the to get them coke. Understood? So gas which is produced during the processing of coal is a mixture of methane, carbon monoxide and hydrogen, and it is known as coal gas. What is coal gas? In coal gas, what are the mixture is present? Mixture of methane, carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Understood? So it is very good fuel, and they are used in many industrial units which are situated near the coal processing plants. Understood? So it is used in as a fuel in many industries which is situated near the coal processing plants. These days, this bitumen, a petroleum product, is used in place of coal for metaling the roads. So this coal gas was used for street lighting for the first time in London in 1810, and in New York around 1820. Okay, so nowadays it is used as a source of heat rather than light, but in before it was used as a street lighting, and that was used firstly in London in 810, and in secondly it is used in New York around 820. So now it is used as a source of heat instead of light. Understood? So this was the components of coal. First one we have seen coke, second one we have seen coal tar, and the third one is coal gas. Okay, the next topic is petroleum. What is the next topic? Next topic is petroleum. Students, you know that petrol is used as a fuel in light automobiles such as you can say motorcycles, scooters and cars. Isn't it? Heavy motor vehicles like trucks and tractors run on diesel. Heavy motors, they run on diesel, and very light automobiles, they run on petrol, like motorcycles, scooters and cars. But heavy motors vehicles like trucks and tractors run on diesel. So petrol and diesel are obtained from a natural resource called petroleum. Understood? So the petrol and diesel which are obtained from this natural resource, that is what we call as petroleum. Do you know how petroleum is formed? Students, see, petroleum was formed from organisms living in the sea. Petroleum is formed from organisms living in the sea. As these organisms die, the bodies settle at the bottom of the sea and got covered with layers of sand and clay. Over millions of years, absence of air, high temperature and high pressure transformed the dead organisms into what? Into petroleum and natural gas. Understood the formation of petroleum? This petroleum is believed to have been formed by the action of heat and pressure on the remains of marine organisms. Understood? In the absence of what? In the absence of air. So the remains of marine animals which died millions of years ago, जो भी sea के अंदर whatever the aquatic plants and animals are there, they get means when they died millions of years ago, that remains settle at the bottom of the sea and they got covered with sand or rocks or clay. Understood? And the decomposed organic matter, whatever the decomposed organic matter means, which is formed as a result of action of you can say bacteria. When they, you have seen the vegetable peels also, when you put in a one place, after few days if you see, all the bacteria will be seen over there. Same thing, the decomposed organic matter also over here, when they decomposed in the at the bottom of the sea, and when they covered with sand and rocks, there the formation, the action of bacteria was you be able to see, and that was buried deeper and deeper, where high pressure and high temperature condition was liquefied it. So the liquid then seeped down until it reached a bed of non-porous rocks. Understood? And then they remained like a lake of oil between the layers of rocks. After that, the petroleum is obtained by oil wells into the earth crust. Understood? When a well is drilled in the earth crust, natural gas comes out first with a great pressure, and after some time the oil comes out itself due to the pressure of the gas. After the pressure subsides, the oil is pumped out of the wells and sent to refining units. Understood? What is the process of formation of petroleum? This is all happening over there. When the petroleum is obtained by what? By the oil wells into the earth crust. From the earth crust, when the petroleum is obtained, that when a well is drilled in the earth crust, natural gas comes out first with a great pressure, and sometime what happens, the oil comes out itself due to the pressure of that gas. After the pressure subsides, the oil is pumped out of the wells and that oil is sent to the refining units. In India there are oil wells. Where are they, you know? They are in Assam, Gujarat, off the shore of Mumbai, and in the deltas of Kaveri and Godavari. Okay. See, you can see here it shows the deposit of petroleum and natural gas. You see that the layer containing petroleum, oil and gas is above that of water. See the reservoir rock, on that water, then oil, and on that gas is there. Why is it so? You see that oil and gas are lighter than water and they do not mix with it. Yes or no? So when the high pressure comes out, the gas goes up, comes out of that, means the oil is pumped out of the wells, and that oil they send to the refining units. So what is refining of petroleum? Petroleum is a dark oily liquid. It has an unpleasant odor. Unpleasant odor means very smelly. It is odor means the smell which you takes, that is very unpleasant. Okay. So the constituent means the process of separating various constituents or fraction of petroleum by this distillation process is called refining. Okay, they are called refining. Fractional distillation of crude oil means crude petroleum oil, that is done by using a tall fractionating column in a petroleum refinery. Understood? They are done in the petroleum gas. So it is a mixture of various constituents such as petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, etc. The process of separating the various constituents or fraction of petroleum, that is known as refining, and it is carried out in the petroleum refinery. Understood? They are carried out in the petroleum refinery. What is refining of petroleum? Means the process over there, what is happening? Separating various constituents, okay, or fractions of petroleum. By which process? By fractional distillation. That is what we called as a refining. Understood? So the fractional distillation of crude petroleum oil, they are done by using tall fractionating column. Understood? So this crude oil, when they are heated to about 400 degrees Celsius in a furnace, and the vapor thus formed, they are allowed it to enter the bottom of the fractionating column through pipelines. The vapor of low boiling fraction rise up, while the high boiling fractions they condense at the lower side of the column. Understood? So here this fractional distillation continues till the oil is separated into 5 or 6 fractions which boil at different temperatures. Understood? They separate it out in a different at a different temperatures. They are the constituents of petroleums. You can see petroleum gas, then petroleum ether, gasoline, kerosene, then diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, petroleum coke. They have a different temperature in there. They used to differentiate into different fractions, and they are used in a different ways also. So they are carried out in a petroleum refinery. So many useful substances are obtained from this petroleum and natural gas. This item as petrochemicals. This item is petrochemical. These are used in the manufacture of detergents, fibers. We have studied this also in the chapter number 3, synthetic fibers. That is, what are they? Synthetic fibers and natural fibers. Synthetic fibers, which are they? Polyester, nylon, acrylic, etc. Then polythene and other man-made plastics. Hydrogen gas obtained from natural gas, they are used in the production of fertilizers, that is urea. Due to its great commercial importance, petroleum is also called black gold. They are also called as a black gold. Understood? What are the various constituents petroleum and their uses given? Just now I told you the constituents of petroleum. They are used in LPG. What are they? Petroleum gas in liquid form. It is also called as LPG. What are the uses of that LPG? Fuel for home and industry. Industry. LPG is used as a fuel for home. At a cylinder, what is there? Which gas is present? LPG. Then constituent petroleum is, second one is petrol. They are used in a motor fuel. Then aviation fuel, solvent for dry cleaning. Kerosenes, they are used for stoves, lamps and for jet aircrafts. Diesel, they are used for heavy motor vehicles, electric generators. Lubricating oil, they are used as a lubrications for example, nowadays rainy season is there, so our dough gets expunged, yes or no, or it gets jammed over there, so we apply some oil over there so that we can able to open it very smoothly. So it is used for that purpose. Paraffin wax, ointments, candle, Vaseline, etc. Bitumens means they are used for the surfacing the road, then paints and all. So these are the various constituents of petroleum and the uses which is given over here. Next is natural gas. What is natural gas? Natural gas is a very important fossil fuel. Why? Because it is easy to transport through pipes. Natural gas is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas. Compressed natural gas means CNG gas. So CNG is used for power generation. It is now being used as fuel for transport vehicles because it is less polluting. It is a cleaner fuel. The great advantage of CNG is that it can be used directly for burning in homes and factories where it can be supplied through pipes. Such a network of pipelines exists in Vadodara, that is Gujarat, some parts of Delhi and other places also. Understood? So what is natural gas? Natural gas is a fossil fuels which is obtained or which is found in association with petroleum, and it contains mainly methane in this, and it is used as a domestic and industrial fuel. So this compressed natural gas, that is CNG, they are also used as a motor fuel as it is comparatively clean and does not cause any pollutions over here. So it is supplied directly from the gas fields through what? Through pipelines. Understood? So such network of pipelines, they exist first in Vadodara and some in parts of Delhi also. So that this natural gas, they are also used for the manufacturing of number of chemical and fertilizers. It decomposes into carbon and hydrogen on a strong heating. So hydrogen is used in the production of ammonia, which is a raw material for nitrogen containing fertilizers. So this natural gas is also used as a starting material for the manufacture of a number of chemicals and fertilizers. India has vast reserves of natural gas. In our country, natural gas has been found in Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and in the Krishna Godavari Delta. Understood? So this is all about the natural gas. Some natural resources are limited. Next is some natural resources which are limited. What are they? You have already studied in the beginning of this chapter that some natural resources are exhaustible, like fossil fuels, forests, minerals, etc. Yes or no? So students, you know that coal and petroleum, what are they? They are fossil fuels. It is required the dead organism millions of years to get converted into this fuse. On the other hand, known reserves of this will last almost a few hundred years. Moreover, burning of this fuse is a major cause of air pollution. So the use is also linked to global warming. Understood? So what are the problems over here? As you are aware of it, that fossil fuels took millions of years to form, yes or no? And our present rate of utilization of fossil fuel is much faster than the rate of their formation. Understood? So it takes nature thousands of years to generate the amount of resources we utilize in a single day. If we continue to do so, very soon we will run out of them. Understood? Although there is no accurate parameter to estimate the amount of use available, it is said that if we continue to use them at the current rate, coal will last another 200 years and natural gas about 200 to 300 years. But there is always a possibility of increase in consumption with the growth in populations. As for petrol, specialists predict shortage of the fuel within 50 years. Some of the problems associated with this utilization, this overutilization of fossil fuels, have been summarized below. What are they? First one is the rate of utilization, that depends on industrialization and the growth of population. The rate of utilization is much faster than the rate of their formation. Secondly, what happens? All countries of the world do not have equal reserves of fuel. They have to depend on the other countries for their fuel requirements. For example, India is rich in coal reserves but does not have sufficient petroleum reserves. About 70% of the world's petroleum reserves are situated in the Middle East, that is Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iran, and Iraq. These countries like USA, Canada, China, Russia, and Libya too have large oil reserves. Understood? So the extraction or the processing and utilization of this fossil fuels, what they do, they will pollute the air. Not only air, they pollute the water and soil, which we will discuss in the next chapter. Understood? So what are the limitation over there? In the beginning, we have already learned that natural resources like coal, petroleum, natural gas, forest, minerals, they all are what? Non-renewable, or you can say exhaustible in nature. They require millions of years for their formations. If we do not use fossil fuels, there is a possibility of energy crisis in the future. Understood? So it is therefore necessary that we use this fuel only when absolute necessary. This will result in better environment, smaller risk of global warming, and their availability for a longer period of time. In India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association, PCRA, what are they? Petroleum Conservation Research Association advises people how to save petrol, diesel while driving. Understood? This PCR, they are advising us to how to save petrol or diesel while driving. So there are some tips which this PCRA has advises us to save the petrol and diesels. What are they? We will see one by one. Firstly, it is said that drive at a constant and moderate speed as far as possible. Understood? Your driving speed should be moderate. It should not go very fast. It should be at a constant speed. Understood? Secondly, it has told that switch off the engine at traffic lights or at a place where you have to wait. Don't keep your vehicles on in when you are in a traffic. Please switch off your engine when you are in a traffic lights or at a place where you have to wait. If you are talking with someone or if you are seeing something, but keep your engine off and then do the work. Don't keep it on. Thirdly, it is saying that ensure correct tire pressure. Check your pressure of your tires, that it is having a accurate pressure or not. Fourthly, it is saying ensure a regular maintenance of the vehicle. Yes or no? Ensure a regular maintenance of the vehicle. You have to maintain your vehicle properly, otherwise it will not work. It is just like a body. When if we maintain our body properly, we can be able to work, right? Same thing for the vehicles also. We have to maintain our vehicle so that we can some natural resources can be limited. Understood? So this was all about this chapter, coal and petroleum. You just go through with your textbook, read the textbook properly. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Till then, thank you.